see what happens. So first thing first, right? I will do examples first, and then I'll put you into a question, right? I know some of you all can do it already, which is good, right? But I just want to do some examples first. So first thing first, if I said 3x plus 5x, add the x's, right? Right? If on the other hand, Greg, you forget to mute, right? All right, nice. So I'll just show you quickly one or two of these little things. If I give you 7x plus 5y, can I add these two? No, because they are different terms, right? What you do in a case like this? If I gave you 4 plus 5x minus 6 plus 7x, right? Whenever we simplify, we bring like terms together, right? Bring the x's together, bring the numbers together. Please remember, when you're shifting them around, you do change the sign, right? So this is plus 4 minus 6, right? So this will give you a 12x minus 2. Only when you move things across the equal sign, then we change the sign, right? But here, right here, we just switch in the x's, we get 12x. Here we bring the minus 6 and the 4. That's okay? Yeah. Number 4, right? We need to be able to expand brackets, right? So let's try one that's a little tricky one time. When you expand in brackets, remember, you multiply this value by both values. You multiply this value and the sign, right? And then you work it out, right? So you multiply 3 by x, positive 3 by minus 3, minus 9. Minus 4 by 2, minus 8, minus 4 by minus x is plus 4x. You okay with that? Yeah. Last step, bring your like terms together. 3x plus 4x minus 9 minus 8. This is 7x minus 17. That's okay? These same principles, you carry them into solving, right? How would happen if we have fractions now? What would happen if we have fractions? What do you do? How do you simplify fractions? Real simple, right? You multiply your denominators, and then you cross the top and put the sign in the middle. 2 by this, 3 by this. You okay with that? Yeah? And then you multiply it out just like this. You okay with that? 30? You okay with that? Everybody okay with that, right? Okay, so these are some of the simplifying. I want you to remember this as well. Suppose I gave you x minus 1 squared. What does that mean? X minus 1 squared means x minus 1 by x minus 1. Please don't just square those two, right? Multiply this by this. How are we doing this? X by x, x by minus 1, minus 1 by x, minus 1 by minus 1. So if you square 2, you're supposed to get 4 values, and then you can work out these two. X squared minus 2x plus 1. Everybody okay with that? Right? So you had to be able to expand this properly, right? So if you square something, you're supposed to get 3 terms in the end. Everybody okay with that? Yeah? Good. So these are the things that we need to know for simplifying, right? It have 1, 2 other small things like, actually, I'm going to do one, right? I'm going to assume all of you remember this. It's indices, right? Whenever you have the same base and you're multiplying, what you'll do? Or forget. Those who not on the LMS, you send the next Google form. Fill it out, please. Right? Because I want you all to start using the videos and using the little quizzes in there, right? Right? So same base, we multiplying, add the powers. So you'll get 2 to the 7 over 2 to the 7. Same base, divided. So you're going on what? Subtract. So you'll get 2 to the 0. Right? 2 to the 0 is 1. Everybody okay with that? So you remember your rules, right? Whenever you're multiplying same base, you add, right? Whenever you're dividing same base, you take away, right? What would happen if they are not the same base? Suppose you had something like this. Suppose you had 2 squared multiplied by 4. Are they the same base? No. But in order for you to use those rules, we can convert them to the same base. And 4 is 2 squared, correct? Yep. Right? Next, let's look at right. 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 Next, let's take a look at some factorization. So basic factorization, if we have 4x minus 2, you put it out with common. For those who not seen it properly as yet, you can do this. 2 by 2 is 4 by x. Right? 2 by 2 by x is 4x minus 2. What do they both have in common? They both have 2 in common. That's okay? So we cancel out 2 and we'll be left with what? 2x. Since I cancel out 2 here, what do you mean? 2 by 1 is 2. So technically there's a 1 there. Right? If you do write back anything there and you write 0, you'll get it wrong. But okay with that? So remember 2 by 2x, 4x, 2 by minus 1 minus. You okay with that? Number 2. Actually, let's just focus on. I'm going to give too much in case I forget. Let's focus on some simplifying. Then we stop. I'll show you back factorizing, and then we try solving, right? Might take us a little longer, but at least it might be a little sharper. I don't want to show you all the facts. Oh, I'm going to show you one time. Show you one time? Yeah? No? Still are you? What is it? Show you one time or do some simplifying? Good. Let me do simplifying. Wait, I'll forget this. I don't want to forget. You got to write that down. Example. Right, as this example, right? Go write that down. Consecutive. You try. Let's try one from me. Start here. Do every year, just practicing, right? Start here. Do every year, just write number 1 and work it out. Then when you finish, and you very much time, right? Right, that's 2 marks, right? So you can add up your marks on. Let's see how much you get. Right at the city, focus on what you know. Right, give a million examples in one video. Like focus on getting them now. And if you get in trouble, don't be afraid to come up, right? I'll sit right next to me. All right, time up. So 2x by x, that's 2x squared. 2x by 5, that's 10x. Minus 3 by x, minus 3 by minus 4. Right? And all we could do is add the x's together, right? 2x squared plus 7x plus 12. Are we done? Everybody got that? Yeah? Remember, you can't go further than that, right? Because we have a squared, an x, and a constant. We cannot go further than that. That's okay? Let's go again. Next one. Let's take one little fraction fella here. Let's change every letter. Simplify that if you know. Let's see. Simplify that there. 2 marks again, right? So give yourself 2 marks if you got that. Right, scenario. Give me that to me then. Right, to me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Try this here. Follow the fraction. Please be careful with the little minus sign, right? Leonardo again, true. Right? Online, do or just send your answers, right? All I want you to do is just tell me if you get right or not, right? If you get in trouble, I could always pull it over. One minute again. Right, so you're following example 5, right? Except for the there's a minus sign. Yes. Because my last 2 seconds. Remember to simplify the top, right? Okay, so your denominator will be 12. The numerator will be 4 by this and then 3 by this. So it will be 4 by 5p plus 2 minus 3 by 3p minus 1. That's okay? Yeah? And then we'll cut it up. That'll be 20p plus 8 minus 9p plus 3. Remember, minus 3 by minus 1, right? That's how I got plus 3. And then finish it up. 20p plus 9p, that's 29p. 8 plus 3. Sorry. Now tell him not to do that. I know. 20 minus 9 is 11. 8 plus 3 is also 11. Over 12. Right? 11p plus 11 all over 12. Why? Because it's minus 3 by minus 1. Right? Remember the sign on the outside here is minus. So it's minus 3 by minus 1. That's why I get plus 3. All right, one more. So I need 2 here actually. 2 more. Try C and D. Right, you're doing C and D, right? Take your time and try C and D. When you're working out C, remember to use the numbers first, right? Deal with the 3 and the 4 and the 2 first, right? Tishon? And the 4 Tishon. Make a little wrong example, pick up some towards the mini point get the pick up. Oh yeah, to check quick. Come on, let's yeah. And then we start some of that. Look by it. Right now. But we have said that we won't be right. Okay, oh yes. If you haven't run the whole thing, whatever you thought.
You know, I thought somebody wants to learn I'm all for you. Huh? What's up? Like, para que parece que wala real na. I don't like somebody on that board. You'll fit on the property and it's portfolio. It's how to get a good tick for 200. I have some of those small ones and I lost them. All right, ready? 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 Ania Alu Achusing. Ania Achusing. That's not Ania. What's that? Ania. Yeah. Next time. I never see the people. Right, you can again, that's provide. Right, so remember that crossroad is that we there before 5, not start at 9 yet. Half past 8. Or even 8 o'clock. Coming double week.
No, I think it's a one.
Right, for the one, because start 6 and to finish 1 day early. Huh? And then I will try between 4 exams to do something like that here, right? Finally, yes, so I will do a quick one, some practice. Like, but I'm trying something on the LMS. I want you all to do it. It's a paper 2, but a self-correcting paper 2. They need to do it paper like normal and then enter your answer. Right? And then I will get then you will get. That's the only way I can get that marks. For me to take them on mark them, I'll take forever. Yeah, I'm marking it. If you're getting working right, but I get the answer wrong, why when I do that, I think it's who I'm watching. All right, let's go. Next one here, as I said, work on the numbers first, right? Work on 3 by 4 over 2 first. And then deal with the x's. So the same base, we're going to add. And here's power 1, so we're going to minus. So it's 12 on 2, that's 6. And x to the 5 minus 1 is 4. That's the final answer. Right? 3 by 4 is 12 on 2 is 6. And then 2 plus 3 is 5 minus 1. Next one, underneath here. Find the LCM. The LCM is 10. Then you multiply 5 by x plus 1 plus 2 by 5 minus x. Right? So I got 5x plus 5 plus 10x minus 2x, all of 10. When you work it out, you'll get squeezing the answer in here. You'll get 50. This next time. Hold on, make a mistake. Right? Now put our x here, right? You'll end up with 3x, right? Yeah, you'll get 3x plus 15. 3x plus 15 over 10. You can simplify, no, that's not. No. That factorized form like 1 7. 3 by x plus 5. That's not fully simplified. Without brackets, it's simple. Any questions, Olio? Any questions? Hilario, any questions? Are they okay? Yeah, let's jump to factorization now. Oh wait, no, sorry, I have one more there. Where is that? Did I pass it? Yeah, pass it. Try this here, please. Expand up. Expand and simplify. 2k minus 3k minus 2. Expand and simplify it 30. No 430. Why are they forced? Calculator. Well, if please get calculator broken, get used to it. Right? You will magically be able to use a new calculator in the exam, right? I know what someone is doing. Or they do ask that calculator, you get to use your phones. So when your parents see you on your phone, you say, I use my phone. To work out take that. That way it's like, you need to invest in the calculator. It's not good. It's everything. Alright, expand that out. I don't know. Alright, expand that out fast. Let's do it again. Just like this one here. Right? Just like this one here. X by x, x by minus 1. Right? Minus 1 by x. Right? Some people like to write it like this as well, right? Some people write it like this. X by this whole bracket. Minus 1 by this whole bracket. Right? Okay? And then I multiply it out. Okay? So if you're not seeing it, remember you can do this, right? You can multiply 2k by everything here. And minus 3 by everything here. Okay? 2k by k minus 2 minus 3 by k minus. Trans somewhat together. Okay, 2k by k minus 2 minus 3 by k minus. Right, so we will end up with 2k squared minus 4k minus 3k plus 6. So you'll end up with 2k squared minus 7k plus 6. All right. So let's do the reverse now and head up factorization. Let's do the reverse. Head up factorization. Head up factorization. All right, so how do we do factorization? I'll do back some examples here. All right, nice. Let's start with this fella here, right? 4x cubed minus 8x. How do we factorize? Factorization simply means looking at the terms and pulling out common factors. Okay? So if you can't see that 4 in both of them and x in both of them, you could expand it out. So you could write 4 by x by x by x. That's 4x cubed, right? And then 8 is 4 by 2 by x. So all I did is I expanded out here and I expanded out here. Everybody okay with that? Yeah? Now, what do they both have in common? They both have a 4 in common. So I'm going to cross it here and write it here. What do they both have in common? They both have x in common. So I write crossing of x and I write an x here. What am I left with? I'm left with x squared and I'm left here with minus 2. So it's x squared minus 2. Right? Let's just check it back. 4x by x squared, 4x cubed, 4x by minus 2 minus 8x. That's it. Be done. Okay? But if you're not seeing here to here, write this line up. Okay? Watch this here. Suppose I gave you something like this. X cubed, y squared, minus x squared, y cubed. Right? We gotta check and see what they both have in common, right? So again, let's list it out. X, 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 y, y, x, x, y, y, y. Right? What do they both have in common? You're seeing 2 x's, so putting x squared, and they both have 2 y's, so taking off these 2 y's. What am I left with? I am left with x minus y. That's okay? That's the way you factorize, right? You can also get more complicated factorization where it looks something like this, right? They might ask you to factorize some. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's do one of these one time. Right? Let's jump into factorizing that quadratic one time, right? So I'm going to show you all these steps. Every quadratic is of what form? Every quadratic is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, right? And I gave you some steps to factorize it. And here the steps, here are the steps are. Number 1 is shown is we have to write down what is a, we have to write down what is b, and we have to write down what is c. A is the value and the sign in front here, plus 1. B is the value and the sign in front of x, minus 2. And the c is the constant, plus 1. That's okay? Next step. Right? So that's step 1. Step number 2. Step number 2 is to write a by c. 1 by 1 is 1. Right, Rima? 1 by 1 is 1. Sure. Right? And then we write down minus 2. Here's the hard part. The hard part is that we need 2 numbers. When multiplied will give me 1. And when added will give me minus 2. Right? So when you multiply, you get 1. When you add, you get minus 2. So here what you just do, right? What you just do is you just take 1 and write down all the possible combinations that'll give you 1. You only have 2 options. 1 by 1 minus 1 by minus 1. That's all you have, right? That's okay? Always remember to change the signs, right? So 1 by 1, if I add 1 and 1, will I get minus 2? So I don't want this, right? This wrong. What about if I add minus 1 and minus 1? What you'll get? Minus 2. So I want this. That's okay? 2 numbers when added will give you b. When multiplied will give you a by c. All right? Next step, take off minus 2x and you're writing these 2 numbers instead. Minus 1x minus 1x and write your plus 1. right? Don't forget the plus one. That's okay? Everybody okay with that? Right. Here's what you have to remember now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So we have to factorize those 4 terms. What you do is in your mind, focus on here. Right? Focus on the first 2, then focus on the next 2. If I focus on the first 2 here, right? They both have x in common. So I'll get x minus 1. That's okay? They both have x in common. Here, what do they both have in common? Minus 1. Right? Minus 1. If I factor out minus 1 from x, minus x, I'll get x. If I factor out minus 1 from plus 1, I'll get minus 1. Minus 1 by x, minus 1 by minus 1, plus 1. That's okay? If you do this step properly, you will always get the terms in the bracket being the same. That's okay? And we're done. Right? These two in brackets, they are the same, so we can factor out x minus 1, and we are left with x minus 1. Correct? Yeah? Since we're practicing this, copy it down and let's try one. Also want to give you other whatever. The whole. Okay. Let us try one there. Right? Try this please. Online, that is 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Try that please. Yeah, that's what dropping. Good, you. Oh yeah, factorize that please. Okay. All right then. I know what they're saying. This nothing was started with. Oh, it's a bit smaller, so I'm going to code. Number when you multiply, you'll get A by C. When you add, you'll get a B. Right, take your time, try it. Sometimes the numbers can be a little tricky. Just be careful. Did I record this class? 1 minute again, then I'm going to do it. To get the right position. Yeah, yeah, do that. Huh? You're not doing a target, fuck right. Oh yeah, get quick. So you should have a few things, right? You should have A, B, and C, and you should have A, C as -6, and you should have B as 5. Correct? You have those things? What's the first thing you're gonna do? Write down all the factors that will give you -6. Right? So I will start with -6, 1. I will start with 6 minus 1. I'll also check out 2 and 3. One of them must be a minus, and then I'll put -2, 3. Right? So without thinking, I just write down all the possible factors of -6. Are you okay with that? So I wrote down all the possible factors of -6. -6, 1, 6 minus 1, 2 minus 3, -2, 3. Now I'm going to do the hard part. Which one of these, when added, will give me 5? Right? First one doesn't work. Second one works. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Right? So 6 and -1 will work. Are you okay with that? So what's my next step? My next step is to take off 5x and write 6x. Sorry, plus 6x minus 1x minus 2. Okay? So whatever numbers you choose here replaces the 5x. Right? And then you factorize first 2, last 2. Okay? What do I factor out here? 3x. And I will get x plus 2. Right? What do I factor out here? -1. I'll get x plus 2. When you reach here, if the brackets are not identical, then you do something wrong. These two brackets have to be the same. Okay? So now you will see that we have x plus 2 on both sides. So I can factor out x plus 2, and you'll be left with 3x minus 1. That's okay? So take off x plus 2, and you're left with the other values there, right? 3x minus 1. Last type of factorization, and then we'll jump into some past papers. Right? Anybody can tell me what the last type is? One more type. So we did quadratics. We did when you have 4 terms. When you have 4 terms, first 2, last 2, right? We did the normal type, and we have one more. What else? Remember? Remember? One more type. Anybody? One more type missing. Never minus sign. Last type of factorization. Difference of 2 squares. Right? So if you see something, a minus sign in the middle, and you have 2 terms alone, that's called difference of 2 squares. A minus B, A plus B. Okay? So for example, if I give you 4x squared minus 9, 2 terms with a minus in the middle. Okay? Right? But we don't know what is A and B as yet. So in order for us to figure out A and B, what you normally do, right? What you normally do is write this term squared, which is 2x squared, and then figure out how to write this term squared. That's simply 3 squared. Alex, that's okay. So after write this term squared, and then this term squared. Okay, that's the only way to be in the form A squared minus B squared. So that's 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3 now. There's A and that's B. AB, AB. That's okay? But you have to figure out now when to use that. Whenever you see 2 terms and a minus in the middle, that's the difference of 2 squares. right? If you see a quadratic, well, you're following that technique here. So okay with that? Copy it out. Copy it down and let's do some past paper. Online, you're okay? All quiet today, all okay? Nathan, all good, right? Dylan, Craig, all again too. Anya. Ready? Let us go. Right, have fun. Factorize those, go treat it.
Watch it. Guys. You're not being in class. They go in your class. Anyways, it's already factors. What kind of layer is it?
I think that's right. Second, the first one, yeah. 6y squared is 6yy. 18 is 6/3xy. They both have 6 in common, and they both have 1y in common. So I'll be left with y minus 3x. Y minus 3x, right? Next one. What the next one is, Olio? The next one is an example of what? Let's not take another before. Elijah. Difference of 2 squares, right? So 4m squared is really the same as 2m or squared. Correct? And how to get 1 squared? Sorry, how to get 1? 1 is the same as 1 squared. Okay? And then finish it up there. 2m minus 1, 2m plus 1. Finish it up there. 2m plus 1, 2m minus. Two m minus 1, 2m plus 1. Finish it. Finish it. Who get in trouble with the quadratic? You're trying to get? Or you come now. I will help you, right? Piece by piece. Come. Yeah, I'll have you by part. What can we do? Right, let's check out this one on the board. Alicia, go and help us here. Let me start. So I'll give you all the steps, right? Right on where is A, right on where is B, where is C, where is AC, and where is B. And then we write the multiples on AC. Should we where's A first? A is what? Very good. B is very good. Right, AC. No, you don't multiply this. So AC.
right? And right, so right. Right. Now, here's the hard part. You're writing all the factors that could possibly give you minus. So start with the easy, 4 and 1. Right? 4 and 1, 1 and 4. No, right, 4 and 1, 1 and 4. 4 comma 1, 1 comma 4. But it's in minus 4, right? So put a minus on one of them. No matter. Anyone you want to, so put it minus. Right. What else could give you 4? 2 by 2, so right, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right? Nice. But minus. But minus there. Don't really matter where you put it, right? Nice. Now add them and see which one giving you minus 3. Minus 4 plus 1 minus 3. So the first one will none the rest will. Right? So minus 4 and 1. Yeah. Now come here. What's the next step? Replace 1. Right. So right, 2t squared minus 4t plus 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So we're gonna do. All right. So factorize those two first. What they would have in common? What else? Right. So right. 2t bracket. What they have in common then? They're taking out 2t. Right. What's the last one? When you factor out 2t from the end, again. So let's take as 2 to put minus. So we get the sign, right? Now what you'll factor out here? Plus or minus? Plus. Are they the same? And it's still the same? Do you think now? Okay. That's all. Right? So you gotta go over this. Right? So you'll be surprised that some of you are struggling in this part here. Right? So, right, just write down the factors of 4. Forget the sign for now. Write down the factors of 4. 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Write it down and then change the signs because of it, you have minus here. Are you okay with that? That's what you're gonna do all the time. Yeah? I can't do it. Right. Right? Do not try not to leave out steps, right? Right? Don't be a hero yet. Work out the whole thing. Right? Write down 1, 2, 3, write down every step. Okay, let's go again. Let's put in the next one. Online, any questions? Online, are you okay? Crystalline, Anya, are you okay? Push it back in. Right, let's go again. Factor right here.
So over here, right, just work it out, just do the factorization alone. That is 2 and 2, 4 marks. I'm giving you 5 minutes. But see it. The factorization part alone. Part C alone, right? So again, trouble still. Right, so we will maybe solve the next year, right? Last minute. All right, let's see how it went. So the first one is x squared minus 5x plus 4, a by c. A by c is 4 and b is minus 5. So the first thing I'm gonna do, write down all the factors. 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right? When I add, I have to get minus 5. So therefore, I'll put a minus here and here, right? That's the next option as well. Put a minus here and here. Right. 1 plus 4, that will not work. Minus 4 plus minus 1, that will work. Nothing else will work. Okay? So minus 4, minus 1. Don't forget to put the minus signs as well, right? 1 and 4 and minus 1 and minus 4. All right? Don't forget to put the signs as well. So you'll be left with x squared minus 4x minus 1x plus 4. They both have x in common and they both have minus 1 in common. And then we get x minus 4, x minus 1. Okay? X minus 4, x minus 1. That is your answer. Last one, that's the difference of two squares. So that's m squared minus 2n squared. Okay? M squared minus 2n squared. Always remember you have to write this in terms of something squared, right? The answer would be the answer would be m minus 2n, m plus 2n. That's okay? That's the way we factorize. But then one more. I just want to go to one more. One more quadratic. Now let's pass around what some people. One more with a quadratic. Last one here. Ignore first part. Let's do part 2 alone. 3x squared minus 5. Oh, look at nice one here. This fellow looking tricky. 2n squared minus 3n minus 20. Right? Take your time with these multiples. Do part 2 only. The tricky thing here is those multiples. You gotta get minus 40 here. Let me see your thing. Be part 2 only, right? Ignore part 1. Remember, you want to get minus 3, so the numbers you choose it should be close together. Okay? Don't worry with 10 and 4 and 2. Those don't make sense. Right? So forget 10 and 4, forget 20 and 2. That don't make sense. Focus on two smaller factors of 4. Yeah, I know your timetables there. See you're struggling here. Have a nice timetables on the Kahoot all you can do. I'll see how to do that next week. I've got a little timetable Kahoot. So you have to know your timetable. What will give you a 4? I can give you a hint to something by something. Okay, that's right. Finish? Yeah. How many boards? Tally? Oh, wait, none. Yes, if you can remember, divide 40 by 1, divide 40 by 2, divide 40 by 4. So what you get, before divide 40 by 5. I might help you. We can remember the multiple. The factors. Right, so by now you should have seen 8 and 5. And because you want to get -3, the bigger value should be minus. Anybody get that? -8 and 5, right? Just take off -3 and then work it out now. Okay? -3. Remember it's an x, eh? So you should have 2n squared minus 8n plus 5n minus 20. Do you think? Focus on the first two, factorize it. Focus on the last two terms, factorize.
Grade one and francis. And all of the north. Like when the unplug it, it's going forward, no? And the left is like overnight, plug by it's still there.
All right, so you'll factor out 2n, that's n minus 4, factor out 5n minus 4. They both have n minus 4 in common. So you'll get n minus 4, 2n plus 2. That's okay? Yeah? Next day, we'll do some binary operations and solve it. Okay? We'll try and solve everything. Solve simultaneous, quadratics, and so on. Alright, so I'll have to take off solve it from that.